Welcome everybody to the CCA. I am DRF and joined by my co-commentator Mewtwo, and it is Division 1 Semifinals. We have UCSD Esports Gold going up against the Night Sharks from the University of Central Florida. Oh man, Mewtwo, I am so excited for this matchup in particular. These two teams have a lot of history.
Yeah, and I don't mean like they were dating in the past, but they have a lot of history fighting each other. It seems that, from what I heard, UCSD Esports Gold has yet to beat Night Sharks in a league format like this. So I'm hoping for this season, maybe UCSD breaks that curse finally, and as we see, we're going to these keys to victory right now. And right now, Night Sharks, their keys to victory is just be better than the enemy team, and so far it's been working there in the Division 1 semifinals for a reason, but yeah, looking at UCSD Esports, maybe they have like actual keys to victory, like taking space and advantage, balancing fights and objective, and coordinating defense to prevent stagger and lockouts. So hopefully we could see that in action.
Absolutely, and it seems like these teams are ready to go, so we are going to be very quick to dive on into game number 1. It will be Clamblitz on Inkblot Art Academy. Gonna be seeing the loadouts here as we'll hopefully get the zoom in on our screen in just a second. There we go. And Mewtwo, as we look at these compositions, maybe one or two surprises here actually.
Yeah, I'm seeing a big surprise. I'm seeing Fawful on that custom Splattershot Junior. Not a weapon that we see very often, but we also see a Nautilus. We see a lot of paint on the Night Shark side, and as I say that, one goes down, we see Vice in mid on that left box with that Nautilus trying to play forward, but unfortunately these trip strikes are holding them back, and UCSD takes very strong mid control at the start.
Yeah, a great opening for UCSD. They only got one pick, but look at how much space they managed to take with that one pick. All of the Night Sharks are on plat at this stage. A couple of players seemingly going to the right side, seeing they could call anybody out, but UCSD stacking their numbers heavily onto the left-hand side here as CD Wumi pops that Trizuka, able to help find one, and Gochild going to try to clear the way with the Kraken, forces the jump out, trying to find one more. I don't think he's going to be able to find it there. But they still find a couple of picks and the open basket, but lose almost everybody in the process. Nerdy Adam, the last one standing, and will have to retreat. So Mewtwo, it looks like UCSD is going to strike first, but definitely did not get the kind of push they were hoping for.
Definitely not. You know, I saw CD Wumi having some clams when they were pushing, and it seems that they just did not throw them in for any reason. But as we see Gochild with a great snipe on the splatter shot on the side of Night Sharks, we see Nifty still playing aggressive on that right box. Looks like CD Wumi was able to snuff out that Nautilus, and as they try to push this Snipe Rider on the plat who retreats back, it seems that it's just a heavy battle for mid, but as we see Fawful with that Wavebreaker proving useful, taking down CD Wumi, it looks like the other three members of UCSD are just kind of scared to play forward. I guess they need CD Wumi to push in first, and then they could follow their lead.
That's what seems to be the play here, as CD Wumi will get the pick on Nifty on that far left court, and now a possible opportunity to pinch here between CD Wumi and the rest of the team, and that's going to be 3 down plus the jump out. Nerdy Adam with the power clam, that's going to be score for UCSD. They have a couple of clams in their pockets to pile in, but the clam economy not in their favor at this stage. No more clams nearby for them to keep this push going. Nerdy Adam not going to see those power clams popping up on that right court, and UCSD is going to have to settle for another small push, but at least it was a bigger push than they had the last time, and now they do have that 2 power clam buffer, so it's going to take 2 plus 1 out of the Night Sharks to get the lead, but hey, that's still very feasible, especially in a map like Inkblot Art Academy.
Oh yeah, definitely, and you know, with a special like Tactical Cooler that can easily let your teammates get in, Wavebreaker to catch Sharkers like CD Wumi who might not want to, you know, jump in toward to reveal their location, it can be pretty detrimental. And as we see, one goes down on the side of UCSD Esports Gold, but we see Gochild with that Kraken that they can use defensively, and it seems like they are going to use it, but they do go down. But as we see CD Wumi amid, they find 2, and it's just and it looks like 3 are down on the side of UCSD Esports Gold. We see Nifty in their bats, in UCSD Esports bats, trying to just wait for their teammate to grab the power clam. And they are jumping now. We see Army jumping in, but we see, who's that Nerdy Adam just finding Army, but unfortunately Night Sharks do get the power clam in, but 3 go down, and that's the end of Night Sharks push. Wow.
That could have been disastrous for UCSD, but they found that jump at the last possible moment. They did get the score, like you said, Mewtwo. So a good push there by the Nitrox, going to mirror exactly what UCSD got on their first push. And the more crucial thing here is it puts them within striking distance of capturing this lead with 1:15 to play. Now it's only a 1 plus 5 to get the lead, or 2 power clams get them that lead as well. And with UCSD losing 2 members here, this could be an opportunity for the Nitrox to try and force another play. And yes, they're going to go for it. Nifty gets the power clam in. The Kraken popping out as well. Goat Child gonna help to find 1, and that's gonna be 3 down on the side of the Night Sharks. Oh, Vice with a nice pick there, and it's gonna be 2 for 2 over on that ramp. This basket will close, and again, the Night Sharks find themselves in striking distance, inching closer and closer. It is now a 1+1 is all they need to get the lead. UCSD, in the last 30 seconds, looking to find themselves in a position where they can try to get at least 4 power clams. CD Wooby with 2.
Yeah, but it looks like Night Sharks doesn't have an Pity Clam that they could use. They need to manually build up a ball, but with how much mid control that UCSD Esports have, Gold Child, what are you on right now?
It's 2
and it looks like, well, look at Nifty. Look at Nifty. He has 6 power clams, and it looks like they might make a power clam right now if they could find one, and they do. It looks like we are going into overtime. Well, look at Goat Child with that crack, and they could easily use it when Night Sharks is going to push, and it is going to be a very telegraph push. So right now, but CD Wumi has something to say about it. They find 1, they can't find 2 though, but this is just stalling out the overtime clock, and game 1 is going to UCSD Esports. Night Sharks doesn't have time, and the wipeout is the cherry on top. UCSD taking a very close game 1, but when you look at the score, it looked close, but when you just looked at the game, it didn't seem like it.
I do agree there, Mewtwo. I will say I do think the game is probably closer than you're letting on here. I think the score is actually a very accurate telling, in that UCSD was dominant in the early part of that game, probably the first half, let's say. Very strong performance there. But the Nitrox in that second half, they looked like the better team, in my opinion, just slowly chipping away at the lead. And it really came up with it came down to a couple of big plays there from the Tritons to be able to make sure that the Nitrox never got more than 1 power clam in. So Nifty, I mean, we saw that jump was very, very clever. Beautiful shark that UCSD did not notice until the last second. So it was by no means easy for this UCSD team, even though they made it look like it in the first 2 minutes and the last 30 seconds here. The Night Sharks certainly made them earn it, and they are now up 1-0 in this set.
Yeah, definitely. And, like, CD Wumi was just really able to punch those holes into Night Sharks defense and allow the rest of UCSD Esports to go along with him when they were pushing. And that just really shows how much they've been practicing, because they know that they've been really working on the teamwork a lot. And as we see Go Child with some amazing picks, and Nerdy Adam and the other player, wow, that game just was so good. Ocean Oval, they just were able to complement. They just complement the team so well. It really shows the experience that both of these teams have. But as we see going into game 2, this is Flat Zone's Barnacle, and what is Matt Mo gone to onto the map list?
I'm going to be honest, Mewtwo. As we jump into this game, there is no adjustments from anybody. Sorry, I believe did UCSD have the T-Tech and a Vanilla Shot last time? I feel like one of those was slightly different.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so there was the same one from last game. So no adjustments at all. But just to be fully transparent here, Mewtwo, this has probably been one of the worst map modes in all of the playoffs so far. Every single time we have run it so far, it has been an absolute lockout. Knockout within 2 minutes for the majority of the games, and the Night Sharks are the team that are positioning themselves to be that team this go around, as UCSD on the back foot looking for a way in. They're gonna have to build up some specials here and try to force their way to the zone, as that scoreboard continues to tick down quickly.
Definitely, they need to get rid of Nifty, and right now they also need to get rid of Fop, who's pushing them, and it looks like the shot does go down. We see Goat Child trying to play their best, but they're if Night Sharks are hiding behind walls, then Gochild can't really get a snipe on. Then we see the Kraken not really finding anybody, but they do go into zone, but it is a bit risky. We see the Tri-Strikes coming in, and it might just be over right now unless UCSD can flip it right now. And the last one is Ocean Opal, and it looks like Night Shark just win. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell it like it is. I have never seen such a strong case for us to just not run a map mode again. So this is how every single Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime game have gone. You win the first fight, you win the game. It's as simple as that. And the Night Sharks came out into this game beautifully executing on that opening fight to be able to get the 3 down, the delayed wipe, just to be able to initiate that lockout and burn so much clock so quickly. And UCSD really only had one opportunity to get back in, and it took them a whole 30 seconds or 70 points of the scoreboard to even neutralize the zone. And by then they were not in a position to even flip it. They were close, but just not really, look, the 3 of them get clustered right there and on the replay. It just was not a good situation at all for UCSD. So credit to the Night Sharks here. They're going to be able to take game number 2 in convincing fashion, and it is now a tied set 1-1.
It looks like we see a sub on the side of UCSD Esports. We see Enda coming in for Ocean Opal. I wonder how much that difference will make on TC Hagglefish. And ladies and gentlemen, we have it set. And it looks like going back to these keys to victory. UCSD needs to kind of go back to the drawing board on that one, because they really did not really coordinate defense to prevent lockouts. They got locked out very heavily, and honestly, it was just kind of, they just kept going down one by one, and the specials that they used were not really impactful towards getting Night Sharks out of their spawn. So maybe this time they got to recompose themselves. If they start getting a little bit tilted, then that can obviously go downhill pretty fast. And right now, going into it, it looks like we're going to see a 52 Galdeco on the side of UCSD Esports, and no comm changes on the side of the Night Sharks.
Interesting. So the Night Sharks are really comfortable with what they're playing, and I mean, I don't quite blame them. This honestly also has to be some of the quickest between game adjustments, just substituting and weapon select, that I have ever seen in the CCA. As early on, we are taking a look here at the Night Sharks, who get the early advantage, getting control of mid and the tower. UCSD a little bit staggered now, and it seems like the Night Sharks are going to be able to go on an early roll. Vice with a beautiful double there, and the Night Sharks up to checkpoint 1 should claim it pretty uncontested. Oh, actually, the Trip Strike's going to come in and try to slow down Army, but it seems like they should be able to get on that tower. Great stagger, though, on that Trip Strike. Wow, credit to Nerdy Adam on that one.
Great credit, and 2 go down on the side of Night Sharks, but 2 go down on the side of UCSD if Enda cannot win this one-on-one. And it looks like they can. Looks like Nifty's on the tower using that Zuka. Enda's doing their best to avoid it, but Nifty takes him out. It looks like it's back to CD Woomy trying to fight for the tower, but he is in an awkward position right now. Nerdy Adam is trying to fight, but Vice is up there with trying to contest Nerdy Adam, and it's not going to end up well. We see Gochild firing at the tower, and it looks like Night Sharks showing shades of that second game with how dominant they are, just pushing this objective and pushing into UCSD Esports space. 3 are down, last one is Enda. This game might be over right now.
I think this one might be. That's a wipeout. And the Night Sharks back-to-back knockouts. They said, hey, we'll give you game 1. We're just warming up. And now they have dominated twice in a row. Obviously, and game 2, we were anticipating that domination a little bit to come from either of those teams, but the Night Sharks seem to have really found something here, actually, as they not only knock out on that snowball map mode that is Barnacle and Dime Splat Zones, but really dominate on a map mode that tends to go back and forth a little bit more with tower control on Hagglefish. So that's gotta mean something at this stage of U2 if they are able to deliver in back-to-back games like this.
Yeah, I think you know what that means. I think we should conduct a drug test on Night Sharks. Not gonna lie, I think that is the most logical conclusion. And honestly, I'd like to point out at the start, CD Wumi played very aggressive in mid, and it ended up with him going down in the mid. I don't know if that's what he like. Obviously that's not what they wanted, but I think he might need to just like step on the brakes just a little bit because I feel like as if that was a very unnecessary way to go down, and that kind of allowed the Night Sharks to really start pushing, and I think that's really how what led Vice to getting that really crucial double while Night Sharks was pushing, but yeah, I mean, I think you definitely just need to reevaluate how aggressive you're playing. You just need to like, you know, losing two straight knockouts within, less than 2 minutes is not very the best for the mental, but you just gotta recompose yourself, It ain't over till it's over, and Night Shark still has 3 games to win. That's 3 games you have to adjust. And as we see, there's adjustment right now. Goat Child is on that ballpoint, but as we see, Army switching from the pencil to that Z plus F splatter scope, and Fawful stepping off of the custom splatter shot junior and going onto that end zap.
Interesting adjustments here, but both teams still, again, very quick to ready up. They've got these game plans set in stone, so very excited to see these adjustments added to Night Sharks for the first time this set. Let's see how that works out for them with that ZNF and NZAP combination. Vice sticking with that Nautilus, and we saw Vice cook in that last game, so should be an entertaining one to open up here, as it is a bloodbath early on. Bombs being thrown into mid, specials coming out on the side of UCSD, trying to open up that pathway to the checkpoint, and it seems like UCSD getting a slight advantage here, but still having to do a little bit of work. No one picking up that Rainmaker just yet, and it seems like UCSD is going to have to opt instead to just hold mid position, as Enda continuing to hover right around that bunker, trying to keep the Night Sharks in their street. And it seems like the Night Sharks are far enough back at this stage that they should be free to pick up this Rainmaker. They will do so. Go Child trying to survive those overarching Zuka shots and will clear the checkpoint. All of UCSD still up. Should be some more points on the board for them, but the question is, how big can they build up this lead? Because when you are playing the Night Sharks, no lead is ever safe. As CD Wumi will double again.
CD Wumi proving why they are one of the best players in the CCA league right now, finding that very crucial double. UCSD pushing the Rainmaker down to 10. Unfortunately, that they will not get a knockout. Go Child still playing aggressive. It seems that they have a ballpoint almost at the ready right now. But, unfortunate way to go down to a bomb.
No.
CD Wumi, no way. No way.
Oh, okay.
Vice playing great defense with that Nautilus, understanding that they might try and cheese the Rainmaker a little bit further. But as we see, 2 are down inside of UCSD Esports. CD Wumi just coming out of spawn. It's really Nerdy Adam left in mid. But CD Wumi just jumped into Nerdy Adam. Please, I'm sorry. It looks like Nerdy Adam might find one more with the help of CD Wumi. It looks like they're just pushing Army right now. Poor Army. And it looks like the rest of the Night Sharks are desperately trying to provide support to their support. And as we see, UCS Esports is still in control of Night Sharks Street. Night Sharks cannot get out of here.
Yeah, it's the Night Sharks suddenly finding themselves on the other end of just a dominant lockout. I don't think I've quite seen a lockout like this on Rainmaker Manta Maria, where UCSD just right now in a position just not letting the Night Sharks exit their side of the map. Finally gonna get shut down here. 3 go down, so this will be an opportunity for the Night Sharks to make something happen. CD Wumi will get the jump out to there, and the Night Sharks are pressing forward. Fawful and Nifty leading the charge, trying to get control of that middle area of the map, and UCSD, with 3 minutes already gone in this game, have prevented the Night Sharks from scoring up until this point. So it's going to be 2 minutes of opportunity for the Night Sharks to try and replicate what UCSD did. They need the checkpoint. They need to get all the way to that second pedestal. CD Wumi is in danger here on their own. Will prevent the checkpoint from falling for just enough time to get the rest of the team back in position here. Those trip strikes all being committed to that Rainmaker pop. A little bit of a risky decision there to utilize the special in that way. And now the Night Sharks are in position to try and find the lead, and they're going to get shut down there by CD Wumi, and it's going to be a bit of a trade back and forth, but the Night Sharks have control of UCSD Street.
This is pretty scary on the side of UCSD, but as we see, Vice goes down on the side of Night Sharks, but so does Enda. And it looks like 3 members of Night Sharks are in there, but it looks like the Trip Strikes not finding Army, but CD Woomy is going to complement Nerdy Adams' Trick Strikes with a double, but it looks like Vice is back in mid, but it's a wipeout on the side of the Night Sharks. UCSD playing a great defense right now, and it looks like they're really like they listen to those keys to victory and they're like, okay, we got to step it up from those last 2 games, and it looks like they are just going to play very passive. They're okay with playing passive. Look at CD Woomy just sharking, making sure that no one tries to jump through the cut right now, and it looks like UCSD just seems happy playing in these defensive positions. But I don't know, one wipeout can just definitely spell disaster for UCSD if they decide to keep playing like this.
Yeah, they are gonna play it safe. They need to survive these specials. That's the main thing. They did actually get 2 of the specials out. There's the 3rd special now coming out from the Night Sharks, and that's all specials gone. As Army, I think, was the last person to have possibly a special come up there, but not in position to do so with that Rainmaker coming out. So they're gonna be committed to this push right here, right now. Zuka almost online for the Night Sharks. 3 seconds to play. We will see overtime. Night Sharks trying to hold on. Bombs coming out. Army gonna dive to that right side. Zuka coming out, misses barely. Army survives the first shot, survives the 3rd shot, and finally will go down as UCSD ties this set at 2 games apiece.
Wow, the way that Army was able to just weave through all 3 of those Zuka shots was very impressive, but unfortunately I believe 2 went down right before the Rainmaker did go down, so UCSD able to hold it down, being able to just, really, I think that just really shows how strong of a mental that UCSD Esports Gold has. They lost 2 very convincing games via knockout to the Night Sharks. So being able to just rebound from that, being able to take a deep breath, focus, and just pull up, show up and show out for this game. Wow. And man, that defense was very big, and that push at the start, I believe that just really set the tone for the game, to be honest.
Yeah, this was very reminiscent of game number 1, where UCSD was in full control in that first half, but the Night Sharks, when they finally got their turn at the wheel here, they came so close on a couple of occasions here. They had 2 great looks at it by pushing it through Street. They had full control of Street on both their pushes, and were doing a great job of keeping that Rainmaker on that right side in that right little pit here where Army's at in this replay, and that gave them a lot longer possession of that Rainmaker. Just a bit unfortunate that it seemed like on both those pushes, the Rainmaker was the last person standing, and UCSD was able to come and clean up. So far, it's been really just 2 very different styles of games. We either get a really close showdown where UCSD dominates the early half and the Night Sharks just don't have enough time to come back, or the Night Sharks get out early and just cruise to a KO. So I'm curious to see if Clamlet's Robo Ramen, being the next game on deck here, is going to continue to be one of those 2 tails, or if we're going to get a little bit of something different.
Yeah, and I just want to point out before the game starts that I believe that Ocean Opal is subbing in for Enda, and I can't wait to see what happens now. And as we see, going back to these keys to victory, really, UCSD Esports Gold really lived up to that 3rd one, especially coordinating defense to prevent stagger and lockouts. And they really balanced fights and objective. And as we saw, UCSD just really didn't give up pressure when they had the advantage. We saw how Nerdy Adam and CD Woomy were able to just hold Night Shark Street for probably longer than any of us were expecting. And so taking space in that advantage, I believe that CD Woomy, just really started to relax and use the fact that, UCSD can just provide a lot of paint for CD Woomy, even though, that Corvin leader comp really doesn't seem like they could give a lot of paint, but when they have the advantage, they could paint up mid very fast. And as we can see, Night Sharks, I don't know what to say about Night Sharks' keys to victory. They were the better team for games 2 and 3.
But I'm better team, yeah, in a couple of those games there.
But I'm not very sure. I look at games 1 and 4, then I look at Night Sharks' keys to victory, and then I look at games 2 and 3, and I'm like, they have a 50% win record right now. So I guess they're the better team 50% of the time.
Hey, I mean, yes, that is very true in this set. 50% of the time, it's the Nitrucks are better to start out the game and be the better team to finish, and that's been the story. Whoever starts out better ends up winning the game. So with a game like Clamblitz on Robo Ramen coming up, where this has been, we have the stats to prove it. This is the lowest scoring map mode combination this season, and I believe second lowest map mode combination that we have seen in the CCA behind Mincemeat Clams. So this is going to be a very stalemate type of match where, honestly, I will stand by. I think that as we continue to tell the tale here of the team that starts out better wins, that's going to be the case here as well, because we're not going to get very many scoring opportunities, Mewtwo, as we load into the game and seeing these teams revert back to those game one adjustments.
Yeah, it looks like Fawful convinced the Nitrucks to get out of Zap jail and just let Army handle cooler duties, while Fawful just throwing out a Wavebreaker immediately, putting that immediate pressure onto UCSD Esports spawn. It may seem not that impactful, but just being able to see all of the enemy team's positions can be very helpful. But unfortunately, in the case of Nifty, it wasn't really helpful at all, considering they went down. And it looks like CD Wumi is just waiting in mid, waiting for that opportunity. They need to just wait. They need to be patient. They see Army up there. See Ocean Opal is just trying to take out Army. It looks like CD Wumi is coordinating that Trizuka with them as well. Oh my goodness! Strike! Oh, CD Wumi should become a professional bowler, and it looks like, as we see Goatchild taking out Fawful with that Kraken.
Oh,
but no,
Nifty.
It looks like Nifty was able to make up for that unfortunate push the first time and be able to find two people and prevent UCSD Esports gold push right then and there.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this Nitrucks team as well, is that it doesn't matter who's up. Like, all four of these players are so capable of making a big play. As we see Nifty again getting another pick. What looked like it was going to be a UCSD push is now shaping up to be a Nitrucks push. And Nifty is so far the reason for that, for this Nitrucks team. It's their turn at bat to make a big play, and they are delivering so far. But this, again, is continuing to be a little bit back and forth between these two teams. So the Nitrucks had a look there, but just not a big enough window to get a score off. But they're going to find another opportunity here as two members from UCSD went down. And it seems like Zuka is going to find one person. It is the Pencil. And I think that's probably going to be one of their more problematic weapons to have to deal with here. So they're going to be grateful to have an opportunity to play without Pencil on the other side here for just a second. As this, again, trading back and forth between these two teams. We are almost halfway through this game, Mewtwo, and it doesn't seem like anyone is in position to score quite yet, despite how that opening 30 seconds to a minute went.
Yeah, we see the cooler, and last one, it looks like the Army's just going to be using the cooler for themselves, and they CD Wumi! What? Oh my, that was just great individual play, I guess. That's what they meant by the keys to victory, but unfortunately, Goatchild proving that, hey, you might have taken on one of my teammates, but I'll take you out instead. I'll take you out too. Not to dinner, but back to the respawn point. Oh,
Goatchild!
It looks like the Nitrucks are just kind of out of position. We see, I feel like that was Fawful jumping out. CD Wumi just finding a Burst Bomb kill. Okay. It looks like CD Wumi is getting off the Trizuka. Goatchild once again with the crack, and hopefully Nifty will be able to stop the push. But unfortunately, Army stopped. CD Wumi's ignoring the ball. Looks like we're down on side of UCSD Esports. Looks like Goatchild and Nerdy Adam are only have to push back. Nerdy Adam gets caught up trying to take a one-on-one with Fawful, and unfortunately they lose. It looks like Fawful's leading the charge for Nitrucks. Maybe this time somebody can score, but no, Army goes down.
Hey, there's a real good chance here that we go into overtime scoreless, and it's going to come down to who can score first. So far, I honestly have liked the Nitrucks pushes a little bit better. Yes, UCSD has gotten closer to the basket each time, but it just seems like it's a little bit uncoordinated every time they approach the basket, whereas the Nitrucks, they're a little bit slower to the basket, but they're being a little more methodical with it as well. So if it comes down to an overtime push, UCSD is going to have to either strike quickly or just, hey, we gotta grind this out and force the Night Sharks to play towards us. So that's what I'm gonna anticipate from both of these teams coming into this final minute, plus possible overtime, continuing to get these trades back and forth. 2 down on the Night Sharks yet again. CD Wumi coming in, trying to clean house, offering a jump to Ocean Opal. Ocean Opal, I think, missed the basket. No, they went down. Oh, disastrous timing for UCSD. 30 seconds to play. Nobody's gonna be able to pick up that power clip. It's CD Wumi to the rescue, and UCSD scores, but they get wiped out.
CD Wumi with the drive by getting the power clamp and taking out Vice in the process. But we see Fawful is immediately already in UCSD Esports Gold's base, but unfortunately they do go down to that splat bomb. As we see CD Wumi is halfway to that Trizuka. It looks like they are going to push Army. They are alone right now, and the last one is that power clamp. And it looks like we are going into overtime. Night Sharks needs uno power clammo and 1 regular clam in order to get the lead. The only special they have online right now is Vice's Rain, but now they have Fawful's Wavebreaker. But Fawful goes down! Oh my goodness, we are down on the side of Night Sharks. Blinking, you'll miss it. The last one's Vice. There's nothing they could do, and it looks like Esports. Wow!
Oh, and UCSD will score at the 11th hour, hold on despite the wipeout, and run away with game number 5 in one of the wildest Clamblitz Robo-Robin games I have ever seen. I mean, what in the Scooby-Doo is this? Take off the mask. We know it's you, Mincemeat Clams. Welcome back to the CCA.
Oh, man. Wow. Somebody should write a fan fiction about CCA and Mincemeat Works Clamblitz. Oh, look at these final. Look at that fall off Zuka shot from, I believe that was Ocean Opal. Oh my goodness. Just, oh, look at these final moments. The way that UCSD was able to just aggressively play. They were just not afraid of overtime. They knew that they cannot give Night Sharks the picks that they need, so they just brought the fight to them. And they just really got, scattered. Like, Vice was all the way in the back when Night Sharks was starting their overtime push. I think Fawful just got a little bit too overzealous trying to push with a custom Splattershot Jr. As we see the score from UCSD. We see Ocean Opal unfortunately going down before they could press the A button to throw the power clam. We see CD Wumi pressuring Vice. Goat Child goes down. Nerdy Adam might go down as well. But as we see CD Wumi just, wow, just look at the power. Look at the grace. Look at the movement.
What a play. I mean, that was a couple of hero plays back to back there pretty much, because Army was the one that got the pick using Pencil on Ocean Opal as Ocean Opal was making the jump to throw the power clam. And then CD Wumi followed it up and say, hey, that was a great job. I could do better, and got that score. And we are going to be very quick here to jump into game number 6. UCSD Gold up 3-2 on the Night Sharks. Diving on into Splat Zones on Mahi Mahi Resort. Mewtwo, I don't know about you, but looking at these compositions, no adjustments yet again. But if this goes anything like that previous Splat Zones, I would bet on the Night Sharks if I were you.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like there's a little bit of adjustment. Coach Child is using regularly. Look at CD Wumi once again finding a double with that Zuka. And unlike Splat Zones on Barnacle and Time, UCSD Esports taps the zone.
Oh, and CD Wumi walked right into that suction bomb. Definitely to the pleasure of the Night Sharks there. Say, hey, get that out of here. Gives us a chance to try and reestablish some position. But CD Wumi back and causing some havoc there, getting the Nautilus down, and we have approached that. We have crossed that 60-point threshold. So this map is going to make its adjustment to the better form of Mahi Mahi. No. CD Wumi coming up with another double, continuing to make big plays here on Mahi Mahi Resort, and this is starting to snowball just a little bit, but the Night Sharks still have a little bit of time. They do have a couple of specials at the ready. They're gonna get ready to launch them here. They do, but they go 2 down. They neutralize the zone. 15 points remaining. 2 down on the side of Night Sharks. Oh, and UCSD looks like they're gonna run away with this one, and that is a knockout for the first time this set. UCSD has a dominant game. game. And they're probably got to be breathing a sigh of relief like, hey, we can win in convincing fashion too. We don't have to make it a one-score game.
Oh no, UCSD Esports was pissed about the splat zones on Barnacle and Dime game. The way they responded, that was so strong. And look at CD Wumi, was just the highlight reel. You know, that was just a masterclass. And I just think that Mahi Mahi definitely favors a weapon like CD Wumi's with that carbon, being able to abuse ledges, that small map, which means that CD Wumi can just get up in your face so much more. The lockout is like very potent. And just these final moments, CD Wumi was just wow. Like, honestly, credit to CD Wumi and also to the rest of UCSD Esports Gold. They knew that, you know, they just needed to paint. They just needed to paint for CD Wumi because
yes,
they were just, oh, look at this. No, this kill was like,
I can't believe that actually landed. I didn't think that the carbon could hit that.
I really need to go to therapy after that one.
But I do agree with you that CD Wumi, yes, was the highlight reel in this particular game, but I think all the credit does go to the rest of that UCSD team because the map inherently is not meant for that carbon roller. Like, yes, you have those couple of ledges, but you need the rest of your team to back you up and be able to keep you in that position. And the rest of that UCSD team did that so well to allow CD Wumi to play aggressive and stay forward the entire time. But now UCSD Gold is at match point here. They're up 4-2 as we enter game number 7. It is going to be tower control on Mako Mart. And I think I have it right this time, YouTube. No adjustments from the previous game.
No adjustment. But speaking of a map that can facilitate CD Wumi to just constantly pressure Night Sharks, Mako Mart. As we see once again from Fawful, that early Wavebreaker just marking Ocean Opal. And it looks like they are going to try and take a fight with Nerdy Adam, but GoChild is there to support him when falling back. We see Vice in mid playing very aggressive with that Nautilus. No fear, but they unfortunately do go down to Nerdy Adam. It looks like they might take a fight on with Fawful, but it looks like 2 go down. Nerdy Adam might need to jump back because he does have those triple ink strikes that can be very good for delaying the push when Night Sharks gets to that first checkpoint. And it looks like he might need to rip up now. We see the Inkzuka coming out, and it looks like Night Sharks. No one just wants to touch a tower. Are they allergic? Or what's going on?
It was those trip strikes. It was once again Nerdy Adam has been so patient on those trip strikes and just releases them one at a time. Let it strike. Throw the next one, and it did pick off Army, who was the main tower rider there. So the Night Sharks do get a nice push off to start the game. They opened this game a bit better than UCSD, and again, that's been the name of the game. Whoever starts better finishes better. So a promising start there for the Night Sharks, although that push was short-lived. A minute and a half in, and once again, the Night Sharks are going to get back on this tower. UCSD, no specials in sight, as they need something here if they're going to stop this tower, and that something's got to once again be CD Wumi, who comes up with a nice pick there on the tower. Trip strikes coming in to just scatter all the members of the Night Sharks, and this tower will reset. So Night Sharks pretty much take that tower to right where it was previously, but Mewtwo, this seems like this is going to be a pretty low-scoring game to probably go until the last, 2 minutes here.
Yeah, definitely. As we see GoChild on their left stack, trying to find Nifty right now. It looks like Army's back on that snipe. It's unfortunate that Army just cannot contest GoChild in the contest of range. But as we see, Nifty is trying to run down GoChild right now, and it looks like help could not come sooner. And it looks like at the expense of GoChild and like 2 other members, it looks like UCD were able to get past the first checkpoint. Unfortunately, 3 go down. The last one, CD Wumi. CD Wumi can just drop on the left. It looks like they did, but unfortunately, Night Sharks was able to see them that time. So I think.
Oh, this should be a good push from the Night Sharks. They'll clear that checkpoint, and they should get the lead. Yes, they do. GoChild trying to find Army, but no, not going to be able to do so. Army dancing around the tower pole beautifully to just stay on for as long as possible. They are on that second checkpoint, and this is where things start to get dangerous if you're UCSD, as they find themselves 2 down. Nifty all the way up in their base, and this is where we call the oh no zone, folks, as this is the final checkpoint, but UCSD will stop it right in the nick of time. Normally, if you get to that third checkpoint, you could go ahead and call the game done. But UCSD survives that push and now have a long road ahead of them if they want to get back this lead and call the set here and now. But they have a minute 43 to do it. But right now the Night Sharks have looked pretty good in this game.
Yeah, the special usage was very questionable from Nerdy Adam as you saw those trip strikes coming out. I'm not really sure what the plan was. Maybe they want to facilitate CD Wumi to get in there, but fortunately, UCSD was able to get a push. But unfortunately, Goat Child does go down. Army sitting at that top right. It looks like the only person who can really reach him is CD Wumi, and it looks like if they can't find him, then they need to rely on a Trizuka or something. As we see two of them, not even two can take down an Army. You and what Army? And it looks like Army's just handedly holding it down. CD Wumi's trying to find Army right now. It looks like they just need to get rid of him, and they do. What is that fall off? Hello?
Oh, 2 members up for UCSD, 1 minute to go on the game clock as that tower does stop at 46 remaining. So a little bit of just stalemate here. UCSD in an advantageous position to try and get more points on the board, but that tower pretty much almost fully resets. So they're going to be a little slow on the uptake, but this is a good opportunity now for UCSD to hunt for that lead. If they're going to get the lead and close out the set, it's going to be right here, right now on this push. The Night Sharks doing everything they can to hold on and extend this set another game. CD Wumi up on plat, gonna get shut down. Vice Fawful 1-2 combo there to shut him out. 15 seconds to go. UCSD continuing to slowly progress this tower forward, trying to keep it in an aggressive position. All members online for both teams, as this could come down to the final battle. Whoever goes down first, it's gonna be Goat Child. It's a 3v4. Night Sharks in a great position here to close this game out and keep the set going. It's only Nerdy Adam who's on the tower, and no, the tower does not stick around long enough for Nerdy Adam to get back on, and the Night Sharks extend this set to a game 8.
Oh, man. That was... I mean, props to UCSD making that tower control game a lot closer than tower control and Hagglefish, but unfortunately, they were not able to close it out. I just think they just started throwing their bodies at Night Sharks in hopes to finding one, but as we saw after Goat Child went down, it started to spell the beginning of the end for them. CD Wumi unfortunately was not able to get up to that level that Night Sharks was at, and unfortunately they did go down. Nerdy Adam was able to find one onto Nifty, but it was too little too late. And oh man, that was just such a back and forth game. It was just such a slobber knocker, if I may say so myself. that one out of the Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite terms. And just as I'm looking it up, I do want to confirm that the Night Sharks tower control has been their best mode all season long by far. I believe they've really only lost one tower control game from what I can see so far this season. So they've been doing phenomenal on tower control in particular. So no surprises here that they do pull out that game number 7 to extend this set. But as we go towards Rainmaker, this one not as good for the Night Sharks, but I'm pulling up UCSD stats here as well to get an answer here what they've looked like. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to say given that they haven't really lost a game all season. Sorry, well, I'll take it back. They've been very dominant, but they well, I believe it was 4-2 against Banana Split, something like that. So Rainmaker, though, has been one of their shakier modes as well. So they did pull it out on Manta Maria, but this Rainmaker on Crab Leg, thank you, will really go either way, and I'm excited to see what gets pulled out because Mewtwo, I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but I feel like Rainmaker Crab Leg is one of those map modes that draws out the most adjustments from teams.
Yeah, it really brings out the freaks for this one. So going into this game, I think it's definitely going to be pretty shaky, especially for someone like CD Wumi, who, with the map where teams like to push grades a lot, it's, you can't really shark on grades. But unfortunately, we'll see the ballpoint again from Goat Child, and as we see, Enda will be coming back in with that 52 Gal Deco, but Oh wow, Z plus F splatter scope on the side of Army. Fawful's back in Zap Jail for another Rainmaker game. Let's see if this will go in favor of the Nitrox, but CD Woomy goes down. Hey, CD Woomy must be a magician, because blink and you'll miss it, he just disappeared. And it looks like three down on UCSD.
No.
But oh, look at that airstrike!
Oh!
Sir, drop in the airstrikes.
Doing that here, Mewtwo.
Sir, drop in the airstrikes, and then Nerdy Adam just single-handedly stopped Nightshark's push, and it's cracks.
Oh, this is a little bit harder to say. Oh no, wait, Nerdy Adam got that one off on time. But this one's a little bit harder to gauge because we've been saying the team that starts out better wins the game every single time. But both teams been pretty even to start out this first minute, as UCSD does get the lead, but barely, and they're not really in a position to claim this checkpoint either, as Gochild has to dance on these grates. Will survive Bazooka, but Nifty coming in from behind. CD Woomy gonna shut them down in a trade, so Gochild continues to hold on to that Rainmaker, will go down, and this is a bit of a stalemate here once again. So low scoring early on for both of these teams again, and this will come down to whoever gets that definitive push, convincing push to start out the game, and that's 3 down on the side of UCSD, end of the last person standing.
Enda needs to jump out, and unfortunately they can't, but the Rainmaker does reset. Nightsharks need to repop it, and they need to start pushing now. Fawful grabs it. As expected of the ends up in jail. We see CD Woomy on that right wall. They hopefully see them. It looks like Nifty takes out 1, takes out 2. Can they find Enda? It looks like they have to drop, but they do have Bazooka online. Enda's just being constantly pressured. Nightsharks breaks through the checkpoint, and this might... Oh, this is looking like the start of a big push.
Oh, yes, and it is 35 points remaining, a great spot to be in if you're the Night Sharks. Of course, this can go either way still, as Rainmaker on Crableg is just one of the weirdest map modes. So this could be a game-winning push, it could not be. Time will tell on that as we approach the halfway mark in this game. UCSD looking to get a push off here. They do find 2 on those specials. Nobody over by the Rainmaker though. It's possible misplay here by UCSD. No, they're going to actually continue to find some picks. So this will be the checkpoint falling. That screen actually coming in handy here, and will be preventing the Nitrox from finding good looks on the members of UCSD. UCSD going to have to back off for now and trying to find a way to continue to keep this Rainmaker push going, but they're going to be pushed out by these trip strikes. And Mewtwo, this Rainmaker is going to reset, so it's a pretty even game still, but the Night Sharks have been the ones more convincing thus far.
Exactly, but they need to get rid of Nerdy Adam right now. Hopefully they don't find one, but they do. And Gochild able to support Nerdy Adam with that trade. I think that's a trade that you probably want to have, but Enda going down is not something that you don't want to happen. We see CD Woomy finding one, but they don't find more. We see Army back in mid. We see Nifty and another player, Vice, in mid. Vice are throwing out the rain. We see 3 members of UCSD pretty... like packed up together like a can of sardines. And as we see, Army's just playing very aggressive, trying to find one. Hopefully, CD Woomy can like find a shark, and I think that can really start a push up for UCSD. But as we see, they go down, and it looks like UCSD isn't really pushing this Rainmaker anytime soon.
Oh, and that screen coming out yet again, but look at this. Fawful with the misdirect. Oh, but gonna be met by a bit of a sandwich there of UCSD players. So that's going to be 2 down on the side of the Night Sharks. That Rainmaker in position to take that rail, and they will take it. But CD Woomy on their own here, able to find 1 on the Rainmaker, 2 down, 3 down, Night Sharks. This could be a possible lead change, and it's Nifty coming up big yet again.
Nifty is so nifty, and as we see, Gochild not immediately grabbing the Rainmaker. They realize the risk of grabbing it, and they see Fawful immediately dropping it through the grates. UCSD is going to need to work a little bit harder. We see CD Woomy. If they can find the pick on CD Woomy, it'll be huge. Nifty once again holding it down for the Night Sharks. As we see Army's up in position. It looks like they have a good shot on the Rainmaker. We see the screen from Enda coming in. Let's see how much of an impact that will make, and it looks like Enda will be the one grabbing the Rainmaker. As we see the trip stars coming out, CD Woomy goes down, 2 go down on the side of UCSD, and it looks like Vice is pressuring this Rainmaker from a very safe angle, and 3 go down on the side of UCSD Esports. DRF, we might be going to a game number 9.
The UCSD has 5 seconds to grab this Rainmaker. They're going to try for it. CD Woomy grabs it. Going for the win. UCSD They win it! They win it in overtime! UCSD advances to the championship for the first time since season 1! CD Wumi with another hero play! Oh my gosh!
Nah, I can't
I
believe
can't
believe this.
What a ending all timer here in the CCA Division 1 semifinals. CD Wumi and Nerdy Adam with the 1-2 punch hero play to send the Night Sharks packing out of these playoffs. Oh, what on earth
dude.
is happening?
Wait. I just realized those trip strikes from Nerdy Adam. Oh my, that was just great team play. CD Wumi and Nerdy Adam, they must have like fused together and they just combined their IQ together to make like 1 million. Just look at these. And the thing was, Night Sharks wasn't even trying to contest that pop. Army was kind of out of position, and the only person there was really Fawful, but they were unable to get the pick. What? Nah. What? Oh.
I am speechless. What an all-time game, all-time play, all-time set between the Night Sharks and UCSD Esports Gold. UCSD beats Night Sharks for the first time in program history to advance to the Division 1 finals. The Night Sharks, I just need to give them so much credit because coming into this, I mean, coming from last season, they missed out on the playoffs. It was a bit just of a down season for them. They came back. The questions were, will the Night Sharks be the same team that they were in the past? And I think they more than delivered on the comeback season here with just a phenomenal run, finishing second place in their group, making an entertaining set versus Red Embers, and then overcoming the odds against VCU, getting that revenge there. And here as well, never gave up at all. I mean, the Night Sharks continue to just be one of the stand-up teams of the CCA, and I need to commend them for that because they're always such a pleasure to watch. So just please everyone, give your kudos to the Night Sharks on this one. They will drop to that third place match to contend for a bronze medal here. Just what a season for the Night Sharks.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Kitten. And as we see, UCSD advancing to the Division 1 finals and it looks like going back highlights of this set, that Rainmaker Manta game, just wow. And the TC Mako game where we saw Night Sharks playing the best defense I've ever seen in my life, and just looking back at that set, it's just, man, like words cannot describe just like this set, man. It's like brings a kid.
And being a UCSD alumni as well, I do try to be very objective in these sets as well. But I'll just be open about it for me. It definitely is a little bit emotional as well, just to see this team where they started and the things that they have, the work that they've put in, and the progress that they have made. It's really, really an awesome thing to see the school that you were a part of and helped found be able to make a run like this to the Division 1 finals. So it's an absolute pleasure to say that these kids come from the same school that I went to, and they've done UCSD proud for sure. So I'm very proud of them, and they should be proud of themselves.
As someone who did not graduate from UCSD, I am also very proud of UCSD because, I'm teammates with Mr. Durf, Mr. CCA, Mr. Monopoly, Mr. Skinny Legend, Mr. Pokemon
Thanks.
Go, Mr. Walker.
Okay, what's your point, Mewtwo?
He, just like, been in contact, like spoken with some of the UCSD esports people. Like I could just I could tell like they're pretty cool. They have a great mentality, have a great growth mentality, and you just see it here. You know, you never back down, never what, and you know, it just really. I'm not gonna lie. Going into this, I thought Night Sharks would take it in 7 games, but you know, Mr. Durf was more optimistic, saying it might go 7 to 8 for either way, and
Yeah.
I could really just understand where he was coming from now. These teams were just so evenly matched, and as we saw, this Clan Blitz Robo Ramen game, holy cow! Look at the buzzer beater from CD Wumi being able to just just make Night Sharks try and bring it up, like step on the gas a little, but they knew, and they were just colliding with a stone wall. And I think that's what the S stands for. It stands for University of California Stonewall Diego.
Sure, we'll go with that.
But what a pleasure it has, casting this set.
Yes.
Division 1 is just always my favorite division to cast, and like I'm really glad
I
that
agree.
I'm really glad that I was like let out of jail for good behavior.
Well,
but
but before we start to wrap this one up, I did make a promise to UCSD on this one. I did actually get a chance to chat with them before this game, and the set went so quick that we didn't even really get chances to talk in between games. So hey, kudos to both these teams, because that's honestly got to be the quickest that we have ever gone through 8 games. So, but I did do a vibe check with the team. I just said, hey, how are you all feeling coming into this one? And CD Wumi gave me a quote, specifically said, quote, "We are so back." And they definitely are back. I was also told to specifically say that they are making an academic comeback. I still don't really know what that means, but I'm just going to go with it and say, yes, you did it. You made an academic comeback. So if anyone knows what that means, please feel free to let me know.
Does anyone know if any of the UCSD esports members were potentially going to be put on academic probation? Does anyone, any insiders? Well, I'm glad that they weren't. Hopefully, if that was the case. But...
I don't think that's a worry, but if it is, there's plenty of people to go hunt them down. And of course, as we wrap up this highlight reel here, that final play to send UCSD to the Division 1 finals. YouTube never really seen an ending quite like that, let alone a set like this. That was just so back and forth. Yes, we saw those dominant games, but those dominant games were even as well. I mean, it just every single time except for that last game, the team that started out with the better push ran away with it. As we're going to get a look at a few of the stats here, actually. But I believe our producer may have accidentally undocked their Switch for that last game. So we'll get the stats from somebody else. But let's take a look at the rest of the stats here real quick, and we'll start to wrap this one up as it starts over on Clan Blitz Inkblot Art Academy. We had noted that CD Rumi was just on a tear all set long. I'm sure seeing them top frag here is going to be a continuous trend. But just seeing the support, like look at like Nerdy Adam as well, that 1900 paint. Just they knew their role to, hey, we just got to support and continue to put out specials. Absolutely phenomenal. Whereas the side of Night Sharks, I think we're going to continue to see them bounce around the board here as we continue to scroll up on the stats. That game was definitely more of a Vice game, where this game was an Army game. And Fawful, I mean, it's like the Night Sharks were just such a cohesive unit every single step of the way. Like, look, Nifty didn't even die in that tower control Hagglefish game. Like, come on. Like, that is impressive.
Yeah, I think just
as a shot player.
Yeah, every player just like I feel like every player in this set you just pick out like a highlight moment for them. I think that's just really cool. Every player really holding their own, really showing that they are capable of standing their own ground. As we see, I don't know, man. Like this game, man. Army unfortunately dying to that triple ink strike, or well, I mean maybe a force of God.
the singular triple ink strike that came out.
Oh man. And going on to my
Nerdy Adam.
Yo,
Have
Wow.
yourself a game, my friend. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, pat yourself on the back, bro. Holy cow. Wow, that game was just so cool. And Robo Ramen, CD Wumi 17-7, Nerdy Adam 13-7, and we just loads of pain
Yeah.
on, especially on the sides of the Night Sharks. Fawful with that 1700, with that siege in
Yep.
here. 9 deaths
Yep,
though.
and
Holy cow.
Army may have gone 8 and 9 there, but like I felt like we saw so many of those Army picks though, and every single time it was in a clutch situation where Army was seemingly that last line of defense. I mean, we saw a lot of plays on this one from Nifty as well. That was occasionally just a one-man defense to lock out UCSD from the basket. This game in particular going down in CCA infamy. We'll go through the rest of the stats here to start and wrap this one up. This one was, of course, that UCSD lockout. CD Wumi getting picks that we didn't even know could happen. As Ocean Opal and Nerdy Adam and Go Child just held down that zone beautifully. Going into that Mako game though, again, just an all-around effort from the Night Sharks. Like it every single time that someone from the Night Sharks was up, they were causing chaos.
Yeah, like Fawful 12-4, Nifty 13-9, Vice 10-4. Just really showing that like they just knew how to not die. They were really able to hold their own, able to make those pushes count and make that defense count as well. Tower control. Oh yeah.
Again, we're missing that last game, so we'll get the stats eventually. But I think this just was such a phenomenal set. So UCSD, just as to kind of recap this, does win the set 5-3, advances to the Division I playoffs for the first time since season 1. Night Sharks looking to finish with another podium finish for the third time in 4 seasons. So just 2 outstanding programs, time and time again.
Yeah,
as we see the graph of that Clamblitz Robo game, but now UCSD does await the winner of Red Embers versus PSU Blue. That match will be going down tomorrow at I believe 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So
was that
be on the lookout for that as we try to stream that.
3 p.m. Central for those people who decide to live in the middle of nowhere. Gotta shout out Florida, bringing the Night Sharks. Shout out California for bringing us.
I was gonna say Florida and California have a lot of teams, so
shout out
they got a billion in both of those states.
Shout out to California. Just bringing Durf. I love that guy.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and close this one out, though, Mewtwo. Thank you so much for joining me on the mic today for an all-time set. Go ahead and plug yourself. Where can the people of our chat find you?
Definitely not the @, that's on screen right now. You can definitely find me on the TZS team Twitter. I occasionally post there when I'm feeling schizophrenic. If you want to follow that one, @best SPL map mode. Oh, okay. Thank you. And Mr. Durf, all those nicknames. Where can the lovely people find you?
You can go ahead and find me on Twitter @DRF_Splatoon and on Twitch @TritonDRF. But per usual, you can find me right here on the CCA channel covering all things collegiate Splatoon. This may or may not be my last broadcast of the season, as I will not actually be around next week. But it has been an absolute pleasure covering the CCA all season long. Just another fantastic one for the books, and I'm so excited to see how these playoffs end. So just tune in. We've got so many more matches through this weekend, and of course, finals weekend next weekend, the 17th through the 19th. But that's going to do it for myself and Mewtwo here in the commentators booth. Thank you all so much for watching the Division I semifinals. We will see you all hopefully tomorrow for some more semifinals action.
Oh yeah.